Let's cut to it. Once Upon a Katamari doesn't reinvent the ball. It just makes rolling feel fresh again, and in 2025, that's a smarter move than chasing some grimdark reboot energy. The pitch is vintage Katamari, sticky chaos, dumb genius, but with a time travel frame that lets the series hop from Edo banquet halls to cowboy shootouts to Kraken-splashed pirate decks. The first 10 minutes answer the only question that matters. Does rolling still scratch that oddly satisfying itch? Yes, aggressively yes. Context in one breath, Bandai Namco publishes, Rengame develops, it launched October 24th, 2025 on PC, PS5, Xbox Series XS and Switch. You play the prince, the king of all cosmos breaks the sky with royal nonsense again, and you fix it by rolling up everything smaller than you until you're vacuuming cities and philosophizing street cats. The new wrinkle is structure. Over 50 levels across 9 eras with 3 hidden crowns per stage, cousins to unlock, gifts to wear, and a ship hub that gives the campaign a breezy push-pull. Clear levels, bank fuel, hop eras, repeat. It's Katamari with a Saturday morning cereal backbone, and it works. Here's the bold take. This is the best mainline Katamari since the PS2 Duo, not because it's bigger, but because it's tighter. Time periods let the level designers stage tiny dioramas that evolve mid-run. Roll a pirate deck, trigger a ship battle, crash into a new area like a pinball multi-ball. The vibe is a cheerful museum heist where you're both thief and vacuum. Critics line up on that point. IGN calls this the happiest the series has felt in years. Games Radar digs the era-driven set pieces. GameSpot highlights how small tweaks make minute-to-minute play cleaner, without sending off the wobble that gives Katamari its personality. Let's talk feel, because Katamari always lives or dies on microphysics. Two-stick steering still rules with that beautiful tank. Friction where a chair stuck sideways makes you feel drunk for a second until it flattens into your sphere. The dash still trades control for burst, the instant flip still saves bad angles, and the camera mostly stays out of your way. Ring Game tightens small-scale maneuvering, so early runs thread needle gaps with less cursing. That speed makes the size climb pop harder, from pushpin to teacup to traffic cone to truck to hello continent. If you bounce off the controls, use the simpler scheme. It's a little less expressive, but still cha-cha-cha enough to feel Katamari. Pattern interrupt, numbers. Expect around 10 hours to clear main levels once, more if you crown hunt or playlist your favorite tracks. 36 new songs in the OST, plus a jukebox of series classics you can mix across stages. 3 crowns per level gate, some bonus content, but you don't need to 100% anything to keep rolling. That sweet spot, I could squeeze one more crown, is where the game quietly eats your evening. Now the spice, the power-ups. You've got a magnet, rockets, a stopwatch, and a radar ping. They're short-lived, situational, and frankly garnish. Games Radar shrugs at their impact. GameSpot calls them a nice touch but not transformative. IGN's stance is closest to neat tools that enable level experiments. All true. A magnet that hoovers trinkets is handy in tight markets. A stopwatch lets you squeeze out one last size break. Radar rescues a collect only X mission from tedium. But none of them unlock those glorious late-run moments where you're a tidal wave of furniture. Veteran games take. It's fine they're not meta-defining. It's not fine when levels lean on them to impose fussy restrictions. And those restrictive missions are the split. Some set pieces are brilliant. An Edo feast where you fatten a tiny noble into a ball. An ancient Greece hunt where you yoink philosophers for a debate. A yokai night parade that lights up as you roll. These work because they use rules to tell a joke. Then you hit the occasional purity test. Only sweets, only money, only objects in a narrow size band, and momentum dies. GameSpot flags this drift toward neat idea, less fun, and I'm with them. Katamari is a power fantasy earned through clever routing, not a shopping list that handcuffs your growth. Thankfully, those moments are the exception, not the diet. Design nitpicks that matter if you're min-maxing. Era balance skews hard toward Edo, which gets more than double the stage count of some periods. It's thematic. Katamari has always been a love letter to Japanese kitsch, but the time travel premise begs for more even distribution. Multiplayer shake-up, Katamari Ball, scores you for depositing in a UFO mid-match with bonus awards at the end. On paper, that's a lively push-pull. In practice, reviewers call it decent but not sticky. Think party mode, not new obsession. Would I boot it up at a couch night? Yeah. Will it replace your go-to competitive loop? Probably not. Meanwhile, the sound and look are an all-timer. Lo-fi shapes with high contrast pop, plus a soundtrack that swerves from techno rap to jazz fusion to choral. Shibuya-kei DNA all over it. And yes, the earworm motif returns. The jukebox curation is slightly clumsy if you want a game-by-game run, and shuffle repeats can get weird between short stages, but the sheer volume of bops bulldozes those UX paper cuts. This is a roll with a green album. Quick spoiler in 3, 2, 1. There's a pirate stage that escalates into a full naval skirmish before ejecting you into a new zone, and a yokai parade level that literally brightens the world as you collect spirits. There's standout gags that sell the time travel pitch. Spoilers over, back to safe waters. So where do the reviewers converge and where do they bicker? Convergence? Joyous tone, immaculate art direction, rolling still rocks, soundtrack slaps, and the time-hopping structure revitalizes the loop. Divergence? Utility of power-ups, tolerance for restrictive missions, and stamina of multiplayer. Veteran game verdict: this is S-tier return to form energy with A-tier experiments bolted on. The ball is back, better than it's been since PS2, but the new flourishes are seasoning, not the main course. If this kind of no BS deep dive is your thing, hitch a ride with Veteran Game and hit subscribe. If you're nodding or fuming, toss a like so this take survives the algorithm and we keep rolling. Final thought to chew on. Is Katamari at its best when it's purely about size and route mastery, or do you want more quirky mission rules and gadgets if it means wilder set pieces? Drop your take, crown chasers and chaos enjoyers, let's argue it out.